Divinity Original Sin 2. Is it worth a buy, guys? Let's read the words of the developer. The eagerly awaited sequel to the award-winning RPG. Gather your party, master deep tactical combat, join up to 3 other players, but know that only one of you will have the chance to become a god. Yes, guys, it's Divinity Original Sin 2. I never played the first one, so this is my first forage into this game. And before I go any further, I want to say that this is more of a first impressions because this game is freaking huge. I had no idea how big this game was. I thought I could just play it for 10 hours and kind of, you know, get maybe a quarter of the way through. No, it's huge. It's absolutely vast, guys. I have had to stop playing it simply because I've got Spellforce 3 to do tomorrow. I have a couple of survival games to do next week. Then I've got my Christmas videos to record, so I literally have run out of time. Unfortunately, I haven't been well this week. We've all been ill here, to be honest, for a few days. Chest infections and stuff like that, so I've been kind of laid up a bit. So I haven't been able to do what I wanted to do. That's why I haven't had that many videos. But I decided to do this, and I thought I could do it in the time that I had, and I'm just nowhere near. So what I'm going to do, I'm doing this. I mean, I know all about the combat. I know how it plays, and I've got a great idea, a great feel of the game. I mean, you would do after 10 hours of playing. So I'm going to tell you what I think about it, and I'm going to then do co-op. Later on, it'll be next year, and might do a revisit to it. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. Anyway, what I do want to say is I absolutely love this game. It is a great game to play, and it's a shame to rush through it because it is so well made. This game, it is probably one of the best RPGs I've ever played. It uses the isometric viewpoint from like the old style games, you know, like Baldur's Gate and all that. It's you'll recognize it, but it looks so gorgeous. It looks so nice. You get so, I can't believe how much you get in this game. Just races, you get, I think you get 5 races, but you get so many different character types to build. There's pre-done ones, or you can create your own, but they're all open-ended, which is so nice because that means as the game goes on and you earn XP and you get more talents to put in and attributes to put in, you can literally change the way your class works and operates. There is so much gear to get, so much crafting to do, so many different missions to do, side missions. And you know what I like about this game is they're not all just cluttered all over the place with stupid exclamation marks above the head. A lot of them you have to actually, you find by just being inquisitive and just going places and talking to people that you wouldn't think had a quest for you. And it's just so well done. It's so kind of makes you believe you're there, you know. It's so immersive, this game, and I love that about it. I love that about it. You've got this amazing world and this great story going on with great characters, and the voiceovers is so, the attention to detail, the voiceovers are so good. It's even got a narrator telling you how people are looking at you in a funny way, you know. It's just so well done. You can tell the people who put this game together, I don't know who they are. I've never looked. It's Larian Studios, but I would wager, I'd bet out you like, these people are probably in the 30s, 40s. They've played the old classics. They're from that old classic era. They absolutely love tabletop kind of Dungeons and Dragons, and they've come together to make this game because it's crafted with pure love, this game, guys. And you don't see that these days. You hardly ever see that. You won't find loot crates in this fucking game. You won't find anything like that. All you'll find is top draw premium quality entertainment. That's what you're going to get. It deserves its overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. It absolutely does, because it's hard to fault it. Even the view, the way they've done the view when you get blocked by a wall or a ceiling, the way it just kind of moves aside as your character walks through. It's so good, and it's 4-player co-op. I mean, it's 2-player co-op if you want, and you also will get companions that are AI controlled. And the combat is totally turn-based in this, and I kind of like that. In fact, I love that. Anybody who's watched my channel will know that I like turn-based combat. I love real-time combat, but I also like turn-based combat. And in this game, the turn-based combat is so good because the whole way that you do the combat in this game is just not to be rushed. There is so much you can interact with in the environment. There's barrels of oil that you can explode. You can even freeze people and electrify puddles and things like that. If they're standing on it, you can throw things at them to make the floor beneath them become oil and then set fire to it and things like that. You get all kinds of stuff to do. Each of your 4 characters has either physical armor or magical armor, and that's how the combat works. Basically, if you fire a magic spell at somebody, you will get a resist if they've got magic armor, so it's best to knock that armor down. And the same for physical armor, you won't get at their actual hit points until you get their physical armor down. So it's very strategic when you're doing the combat in this. You have to examine each enemy to see what attributes they've got, you see what gear they've got and what kind of resists they've got, so you'll know which of your own units to use to attack him. And so it is really tactical, and if you're playing this multiplayer, sort of like the co-op, then obviously you're going to need voice communications to work out a strategy to take down each enemy, and it is very, very difficult at times. As you level up and you get more and more XP, you unlock more and more abilities for your character. You just put them on the hotbar and then you just activate them. Each power takes a number of attack points to use, and you have a set number of attack points per battle, and there's cooldowns. There's a lot of cooldowns on abilities, and your gear drastically improves the actual damage that you do and the amount of damage you take. And it works on the same basis as nearly every RPG. Get yourself a tank, get yourself some DPS, get yourself a healer. I haven't got any of them defined classes yet. I have got a lot of DPS, but I don't have the gear to tank and things like that. And I've fought all manner of beasts and things out there. I've fought slugs that are flame slugs, I've fought crocodiles, I've fought undead, I've fought ghouls, I've fought monsters, and each one of them carries a great conversation before you get into the battle. You can actually talk your way out of battles, and this is when the races come in as well, because it helps that you have like a mixed race group. So for example, elves might talk better with other elves, and you have this lizard guy who can talk well with other lizards. So you have to kind of mix your group up. But you know what I really like about this game? Characters can die quite easily, because this game is pretty hard. I've found it pretty hard going, to be honest with you. But you can lose a character, and then that might stop you doing a quest, a side quest, because you needed that character to talk to the guy in the side quest, and the game will just say, hey, you're screwed unless you go back to a saved game. And I kind of like that, because I hate games that don't let you shoot the good guys or don't let you do anything like that. This game has balls. They're like, developers have said, well, you know what, it's an RPG, and you might find yourself in a further point in the game needing someone that's died, and you don't know that until you get there, and it's too late to do anything. But it has huge replayability, this, because of the amount of characters that you can choose. So the next time you replay the game, you can do that. But the game is so big that people have said, even in the area I'm in now, which I'm almost finished, some people have been in there for 40 hours. I've been in there 10, and I'm pretty much done with it now. But there's people taking 100 hours over the game. 100 hours, guys, for $29.99. That's just amazing, the content of this game. And it's fun content as well, because it keeps you captivated with the story. You want to search everywhere. It's not the kind of game you want to run through fast. A lot of the time as a reviewer, you have to really go at a fast pace through the game, because you've got deadlines to do stuff, and it sucks. And you get some games that you don't want to do that. And this is one of them games that you just want to explore everything, and you want to look around you, see what there is, because there's loads of stuff hidden, and you can just come across it, and there's some pretty big stuff that you can find. So rushing around is really not for this game. You really should take your time when you're playing this game. Play with your friends, and it will be amazing fun if you're into RPGs. This is a proper RPG. This is what I was on about with Witcher 3, you know, because this does everything that Witcher 3 doesn't in the sense of RPGs. You can't just steal anything out of buildings like you can in Witcher 3. You know, your crafting materials don't regenerate after you sleep. Everything has consequences in this game. You have to be careful what you say to people. You're given great dialogue options when you're talking to people. You can even talk to animals, which is hilarious at times. If you have someone in your party with a pet perk, you can actually talk to rats and all kinds of animals, and some of them conversations are bloody hilarious. It's just one of them games that comes along now and then that's just a gem, and this is one of them. It's an indie game as well. This isn't a big AAA game by Electronic Arts. It would have loot crates in if it was, or Ubisoft or Bethesda. This is an indie company who have made an amazing RPG game, and if you're into RPGs, you should buy this. I've used this totally with mouse and keyboard controls. It's absolutely great. In fact, it's probably a lot easier than it would be with a controller. I do know it does support a controller as well. But there you go, guys. Divinity Original Sin 2. It plays well. It's a great story, great RPG, great characters, great combat, great world. It's just a great fucking game.
You're not fit to kiss the princess's slimes. Ugh.